Hi, this is Don. I'm the owner of Don Anthony Realty. I just wanted to give you the monthly inventory update for the Charlotte, North Carolina region. If you're looking to sell a home in Charlotte or buy a home in Charlotte, this is a good opportunity to take a look at what's going on in the market. It was a very interesting January, I have to say. We had a lot of bad weather, and so that really changed the market compared with what it has been historically. It had a pretty substantial impact, and so I'd like to show you that right now. If you first take a look at the 90-day rolling average inventory, you don't really see a big impact in the weather. You can see this little dot here indicates where we are in 2011 for January. Inventory levels are a little lower on a rolling average, 90-day rolling average, compared with the prior 2 years. Still, it's much higher than I'd like it to be. If you look down at the 2008 levels, which is still a little high, I'd like it to be a lot lower than that. But you still see that on a rolling average standpoint, we're still higher than I'd like it to be to see how many months of inventory we have on hand right now. If you look at the overall months, what this means is not the rolling average, but the actual month itself. Not surprisingly, it's kind of hard to see with this graph, but if you look at every single year, the inventory has gone up in January. So that's nothing atypical. If you look at the end of 2010, where we were just over right around 11 months of inventory, and you can see here the beginning of 2011, we're close to the 15 months of inventory. And each month prior to that, each year, excuse me, it would go up. So that's not surprising. Everything looks pretty typical there. And if you look at the data by price range, which is what this is, the number of months per price range, again, you can see every single category of price range had an increase in January compared with 2010 December. So every single month, you're still looking at the lower price ranges. You have fewer months of inventory, and as you go up to a pretty high level. So there's a little bit of in and out different movements here in the price ranges, but generally speaking, the higher the price range, the more inventory you have. If you look at the number of closings that happened in January, again, pretty typical. Again, not as high as I'd like it to be. So we're still we're just right around where we were the last 2 years, 2009 and 2010. But still on the lower side. We'd like it to be more back higher up and have more activity compared with the prior years. This is where we run into a problem. You can really see the big impact of what the weather was for January. And you see here, this is the first time in the last several years that the number of homes that went under contract is actually lower than it was in December. So if you look here at 2010 as this blue line, you can see here we're right around 1,500 homes pending or under contract, and we actually went down to lower than 1,500 in January, whereas all the prior years went up. So it's very interesting. This is really where you see the big impact, and unfortunately this is going to carry through because under contract typically you're looking at 30 to 45 days out of when the home's going to close, and so we're going to see a big impact in the number of closings in February and in March, I believe. And so it really shows how little activity we had. You can also see that same lack of activity in the number of new listings. And so these are the number of new people who came on the market, new homes, substantially lower than it was the prior years. I mean, the lowest one before that was 2009, and that was around 5,200, 5,300 homes. We're at 4,000. I mean, dramatically different than prior years. So this is a big concern. It's good for inventory because not as many homes are coming on the market, but you wonder how much of this was the weather related versus how much of it was just confidence in getting their home sold. So this is a little bit concerning and something we're going to have to keep an eye on over the next several months. The other thing that was a negative in the market was affecting the number of homes going on the market was the significant increase in mortgage rates. So you see here again towards the end we've gone down pretty dramatically over the last several years. This goes back to July of 2006. But you can see here a big spike over the last few months, how we've gone really, I mean, we were down, I mean, unbelievably low rates. Now we're back up, and it's still great historical rates you can see here, but still again a lot higher than where we were. So unfortunately that had a negative impact as well. So that's the quick summary there. Sorry for so quick, but if we can help you out in getting your home sold and save you some money, we'd love to do so. Take a look at our website, donanthonyrealty.com. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Take care.